All right, everybody. Welcome back. It looks like everything should be ready to go here. We are officially back with some more BeamNG action. Now, this event, there wasn't really any announcements or anything like that leading into it because it's not really a huge show like the shows we've been having recently, like the Fall Brawl series and the Thanksgiving event. This isn't a huge show like those ones, but it still is pretty important. This is going to be the last U.S. event determining the Christmas Crush lineup. I say U.S. because there may be an international show that's currently undetermined that would take place next week if it does happen. Again, not sure if that will be happening quite yet. Because the Christmas Crush is right around the corner, it's in 2 weeks. Not to the day, but it is in 2 weeks. I'm planning, I believe, to have that Christmas Crush event happen on Monday the 22nd, I want to say is the date that'll be on. So we'll see how that ends up going. But with that being said, we're pretty much out of time. We're just about to that show. So we need to really figure out what that lineup's going to be. And in order to do that, we're going to have one more placement show, that being today's show, to determine what drivers will be competing. So today's lineup is going to be 12 drivers who have not yet been put into that lineup who want to give it their shot. This is their one last chance since they didn't do well at the Thanksgiving event or the Halloween event. This is their last chance to try to make their way into that Christmas Crush show. So this event is a big deal for these competitors. We'll see Chuckie Pauken III in Uproar, Jon Zimmer Sr. in Megalodon, Tim Jones in Tailgator, Joe Foley in Axe, Mike Christensen in Vendetta, Dalton Widner in Shell Shocked, Camden Murphy in Classroom Crusher, Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt, Cory Rummell in Pirate's Curse. That's right, Cory Rummell back behind the wheel. He is in Pirate's Curse. Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, and finally, Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. So this is a great lineup. I mean, top to bottom, there's not a single driver out of these 12 who wouldn't come out here and get a win. The question is, which one is it going to be in each competition? Who's going to be able to walk away the overall winner? There is a lot on the line with this event. Some of these drivers have really not raced at all this year, so this is going to be a pretty big deal of a show. And it all starts right here. Fans, I hope you all are ready because we're going to get this show underway. And the first competitor coming out to the track right there, you might see, that is Chuckie Pauken III driving Uproar. So this is his first Monster Jam show, and it is a stadium show, so there's a lot of pressure here on the BeamNG circuit for Chuckie Pauken III. Now this is timed racing. Drivers will be able to do one pass in whichever lane they choose. Looks like Chuckie Pauken III here is going to opt for that close lane, so he will have a stopwatch against him here as he tries to put down the best time he can. He is giving this show its start, so he's under a lot of pressure here. A nice start to this pass for Chuckie Pauken III and a beautiful turn right there. This is looking perfect in the corners. Maybe we just need a little bit more momentum. We're seeing a lot of that right there, though, so this might be the pass for him. Beautiful around that last turn as well. Keep it together. Yes, he can. And that time is going to come in at a 21.48. Now, at this point in time, we don't know if a 21.48 is a good time. But what we do know here is that is setting the bar. And, I mean, compared to some times that we see, 21.48 doesn't sound too bad. Typically, we like to keep our racing courses close to 30 seconds, but this show, since it's not anything too spectacular, was just kind of put together to be a nice flowing event while still having a lot of action to it. So, yeah, the start to the action here from Chuckie Pauken III. He sets the bar in timed racing with that 21.48 time. Fans, coming up next, we have Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. This is a little bit of a different body than we'd be used to seeing, so that's something pretty cool here. maybe they're trying to preserve those big unicorns for next year, since I have a feeling that there will be a lot of those bodies being gone through, but we're going to have to wait and see as Jamie Sullivan is on the track. So Jamie coming out here, you know, she has not had a lot of big opportunities like this, so this is one that I don't think she's going to want to let fly by, so we're going to have to see what she can do here. Glendale was one of her first ever stadiums that, actually I believe the first ever stadium that she competed in 2023, so she has that pressure to live up to her name here and maybe redeem herself a little bit, since her first performance was probably not the strongest performance ever. So she's off to a pretty good start here. Could be better, but it could be a lot worse as well. We're definitely seeing more speed than Chuckie Pauken gave us. That might be able to do it. Loses a lot of speed here in the home stretch. Oh, gets a little wobbly as well. And that time is a 21.54. Again, that is a 21.54. Oh, super close to that 21.48, but a 21.54 is only going to be enough for second place tonight. So, Jamie Sullivan, not the strongest start to the night ever, but a nice smooth pass is never something to complain about, as she gets a smooth sailing start to the night in the Sparkle Smash. But this time on that F-150, something that you haven't really seen before here in Monster Jam. Coming up next to the track, please welcome Joe Foley and Axe. Now, Joe, man, he is a great driver. Not sure if this is his competition, but we're going to have to wait and see what he can do here in Glendale, because every single thing he does at this point in the season counts towards his 2026 season and what that could look like for him. So the pressure is on for Joe Foley. A nice start to the pass. Actually, the cleanest start to a pass that we have seen yet. Joe Foley, I was just saying he's not a racer, but he might be today, because you can tell he's got that pressure. He's going to take his last turn very wide, but still pretty smooth. Up and over the finish line. And he is going to be able to get it done. A 21.02 for Joe Foley and Axe. Almost going to be the first driver to go sub 21 tonight. Not quite going to be able to do it, but easily going to put him in that top spot by almost half a second, which might not sound like a lot, but when it comes to something like Monster Jam Racing, every second counts, and with that, every half second counts as well. So, Joe Foley and Axe there, giving it a good effort. Alright, fans, not sure what the issue is here. Looks like Camden Murphy and Classroom Crusher. Huh, interesting. Okay, fans. Now we're going to have to make an unexpected change here. Camden Murphy was intended to be driving Classroom Crusher tonight, but it looks like that truck is not working. Which is not something you're super used to hearing. Wow. That's a tongue twister of a sentence. So an interesting situation here, as Camden Murphy does not have the Classroom Crusher body needed, but he does have a functioning chassis. So fans, we're going to get a very interesting driver-truck pairing tonight, as coming up to the track, we have Camden Murphy and El Toro Loco. Very interesting statement. Not something I would ever expect to say, but issues for that Classroom Crusher machine, and we're still going to let Camden Murphy come out here and give his fair racing pass. So we're starting this show pretty early on with some interesting truck issues, as Camden Murphy will now be piloting El Toro Loco. Not something that you'd be very used to hearing, but maybe this will help him out. You never know. Camden's always had some pretty good luck happening here in Glendale. I say always, but realistically, I mean, this year he won freestyle. Last year he was just a couple points out from overall win after winning 2 competitions in a row. Glendale just has something that agrees with Camden Murphy. Unfortunately not with Classroom Crusher, but Camden Murphy, I don't know, I don't think it matters what truck, although he is looking very messy here in the start. You know what, though? The recovery is what it's all about. And Camden Murphy's going to do a great job at recovering, a great job at keeping the momentum high. And Camden Murphy in the El Toro Loco, he is going to put down a 20.73 as the official time tonight. Again, that is a 20.73. The first driver to go sub 21 is Camden Murphy and El Toro Loco. Again, fans, I apologize. I'm not sure what went wrong, but something did go wrong with Classroom Crusher in particular. So, we do have that El Toro Loco truck, but I'm sure this will not be a permanent change or anything of the sort there. Well, fans, we're going to get ready here for your next competitor, a driver who really doesn't come out west. So this is a very special opportunity for these Glendale fans to see someone who they otherwise really would not be getting the opportunity to see. And he is driving what is possibly the fan favorite independent truck in this day and age, fans. Please welcome Tim Jones and Tailgator. Tim Jones, he is even less of a racer than Joe Foley, but you know what, we said that about Joe Foley and he ended up being able to grab that lead, so maybe Tim Jones can have some of that same luck, but we're going to have to wait and see here tonight. Tim Jones, he is known as the freestyle guy more than anything, but again, we have said that about several drivers here tonight, and some have still done great. So Tim Jones, he's off to a nice start here. A little bit of a different approach in that first turn as he drifts it, and he's actually going to take out into the next turn as well. So Tim Jones and the Tailgator, he's trying to keep that speed up. He does keep that speed up. So Tim Jones going to shock us here with a pretty nice pass. And he's going to get a 20.98. Again, that is a 20.98. So, surprisingly here, Tim Jones is going to get a pretty solid second place. He almost was beat out by Joe Foley, but no, he is going to be able to take second. So, a lot of drivers here seem to be taking us by surprise. But, I mean, then again, you can't really put it past these drivers. You know, they're here on this big floor for a reason. It's because they have the skill to be running on the BeamNG circuit. Only the best running these events, fans. And we're going to bring into the next competitor here. This will mark halfway into racing coming up. It's Jon Zimmer Sr. and Megalodon. So Jon Zimmer, usually we see him with his son, but tonight we see it with Charlie Pauken's son. And ironically, Charlie Pauken's in this lineup as well. So some family dynamics happening here in this lineup. Jon Zimmer Sr. and Megalodon, he is now underway. A nice start to the pass. He's looking very fast, actually. I'd say out of every competition in Monster Jam, this is probably one of the stronger ones for Jon Zimmer Sr. as he just laid down an almost perfect pass up until the end. But it is going to be enough, fans. So despite the little mistakes in that pass by Jon Zimmer Sr. in Megalodon, he's going to be able to get it done with a 20.64. That is a great time for the Megalodon. And as we are now halfway into racing, these drivers coming into the next half here are going to have a much harder time trying to keep up with what we have been seeing. Now, fans, unfortunately, it's looking like we're going to have some of those same issues that we had for some of those same issues that we had for Classroom Crusher are coming in for Shell Shocked, which means Dalton Widner is going to be back in his original ride here in Monster Jam with that Jurassic Attack machine, fans. So you're going to get to see something special here tonight as Dalton Widner returns to the Jurassic Attack because Shell Shocked having some issues just like Classroom Crusher. Dalton Widner, he's looking to take the lead away from, of all people, Jon Zimmer Sr. So clearly your age doesn't really matter here. If anything, I mean, when you're a veteran driver, you have that experience, and it's looking like those veterans are seeing some of that success. Dalton Widner now ready to hit the track. He's getting started. Nice start to the pass, and I'll tell you what, Dalton Widner has always been a very good racer. That is just a Team Throttle Monster thing. Dalton Widner, this is easily the best pass of the night so far. If he can keep this up, we might see a new leader. Keep it on all fours, though, Dalton Widner. Oh, no. Ouch. What a rough landing there. Fortunately, that looks like a relatively small breakage. I mean, I wouldn't say a small breakage, but it should be an easier fix than some other things. Dalton Widner, though, it might have been a rough crash, but it was worth it. He goes sub 20, and the time for Dalton Widner in the Jurassic attack is going to be a 19.61. Again, that is a 19.61. He is the first driver to get a time of under 20 seconds. And he did that. I'm very impressed, you know. Again, not a driver that always is going to win, but if there's any competition he's going to win in, it's probably racing. And we're seeing some of that demonstrated right here as he is able to take over the lead in racing, fans. We only have about 1/3 of the lineup left to go. So this is where the competition is going to stay close, as these drivers all have the same common goal to take home the win in this competition. But coming up next, it's Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Now, Bryce is not a racer either. You know, really this lineup doesn't have that many drivers known for racing, but I'll tell you what, Bryce can get it done when it comes down to it. And he is going to get started here. Ooh, he's going to overturn that. Oversteer, I should say. So, cuts into that first turn. I'm not sure if that's a penalty or not, but that definitely is going to hurt his pass, and he's going to carry a lot of speed into this last turn. He's going to drift really far out, and that time is a 22.07 tonight. Again, that is a 22.07. That is going to put him in last place, 8th place right now for Bryce Kenny and the Monster Mutt, as he has not a great start to the night. And, you know, you can't win them all, but you still usually would like to get better than last place. Maybe these other drivers will perform a little unwell, and he'll be able to climb up the ladder a little bit. But right now, Bryce Kenny sits in last place, and that's not exactly a comfortable spot to be. So we'll see how that holds up. Welcome to the stream, everybody, coming in here. We have 4 drivers remaining here in timed racing before we bring it in to the last competitions of the night. Those will be skills and freestyle. Coming up next, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. Now, interesting here is that Cynthia has taken home her first racing wins in the stadiums of her career this year. So, maybe she'll be able to have that same success tonight. We're going to have to wait and see, though. Dalton Widner put down a pretty nice pass. So Cynthia Gauthier, she has her work cut out for her. I'll tell you what, though, she's off to a very nice start. She's looking really fast here. This might be it. Ooh. Oh, yeah, she's going to cut into that turn a little bit. That is going to throw away that entire pass. I mean, you know, timed racing... The thing with timed racing is it's you versus yourself, which means consistency is key. One mistake and you're done. It's not like normal racing where both drivers can make a mistake and maybe you make a comeback. No. Timed racing, you make a mistake, you're pretty cooked. That time is going to be a 21.55. That is, I believe, going to now be enough for 8th place right there for Cynthia Gauthier and the Lucas Stabilizer. So not great. Right there. That's not how you want to get your night started. I'll tell you what, though. I'm sure there will be plenty more coming from Cynthia as this show goes on. Now, fans, this next competitor is one I think we are all going to be very excited to see, because he is making his Monster Jam return. He did not drive in Monster Jam for all... this driver has not competed in 2025 Monster Jam at all, or any monster trucks for that matter, but he is back in Monster Jam. He is on the Feld Fleet. This is Cory Rummell and Pirate's Curse. Cory Rummell, man, this is a driver that I think we could all agree is one of the best in the business at getting the fans entertained, but he's also fast. we forget that this guy has made it to the World Finals Racing quarterfinals, if not semifinals before. So this guy knows how to race a Monster Jam truck, and let's see if he can show that skill tonight. Ooh, so Cory Rummell, I'm sure this is not the return to the sport that he was looking for. And I mean, at this point, this pass is already settled to be the current last place pass, but no matter what, you always want to finish because there could be a driver after you that gets a DNF, and that's still going to save you some points. So Cory Rummell in the Pirates Curse, he is going to put down a 29.26 tonight. And I mean, you know, that's rough luck, but at the same time, yeah, it's rough, but at the same time, I'm sure he is still adapting to that new chassis. So, rough there, but Cory's getting it done. Now, I do apologize. There was a little bit of an error in speaking there. Yes, Cory Rummell did run this season, but in the arenas. He did not run in the stadium. So, correction. This is his first full-size stadium show in over a year is what I meant to say there. And it's off to a pretty rough start, but he still has 2 more competitions to go to prove himself. And I'll say he's pretty good at both of them. Fans, we're officially down to the final 2 competitors here in timed racing, but these are both drivers who will take home racing wins left and right if they so choose. Fans, please welcome up next to the track, Mike Christensen, Vendetta. Mike Christensen, the second to last driver here in timed racing, and I'll tell you what, he's coming out late here for a reason. He knows how to drive a truck fast. Mike almost became a series champion on that Fall Brawl series, but unfortunately, Zach Garner was just able to do things more consistently and take it home. So Mike Christensen here for a little bit of vengeance. A nice start to the pass, picture perfect so far. Now Mike is trying to take it away from his own teammate, and I mean his own hire, so a lot of pressure here for Mike to prove why he is the boss. Great pass, flies to the finish line. Is it going to be enough though? I'll tell you what, Mike looked pretty smooth, but there were a couple turns where he did lose his momentum. That time to beat was Dalton Widner with a 19.61. The time for Vendetta, a 20.16. So close to that top spot, but that is going to put Mike Christensen in second place as he puts down an effectively very good, but not quite good enough pass. And you know, you can't win them all, but if you can get podium, that's going to be good enough. And at this point in time, Mike Christensen has at least guaranteed himself a top 3 placement, which is a great thing. Even if Charlie Pauken, who was coming up last year, were to win the competition, Mike Christensen would still place 3rd. That's still 10 points to his name. Well, fans, we are officially down to the final competitor here in timed racing. You just heard his name, but in case you missed it, this is Charlie Pauken, Gravedigger. Now, Charlie Pauken, he is running out here with his own son, so maybe a little bit of that family rivalry going on here as Charlie Pauken looks to take home that racing win. Now, he's going to opt for that far lane, and I'll tell you what, I think that's the right play because so far, both the first place driver and second place driver and their passes came out of this lane. So clearly this lane has something good to it, and Charlie Pauken wants to get whatever that is. A very nice start to the pass here. Now, how can he keep this up to be more consistent than the Team Throttle Monster guys? Well, I'll tell you what, this is a great start. Final bend, is it going to be enough? Big speed and acceleration for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. But that time is going to be a 20.67. Again, a 20.67 as the time. That is not going to be enough for Charlie Pauken to take over that top spot. And that means your racing winner, Dalton Widner, and Jurassic Attack. Not a surprise. Dalton, a very good racer. But unfortunately, he does have a little bit of breakage to try and fix up before this next competition, the two-wheel skills competition. Well, fans, I'll tell you what. I'm going to have to calculate these scores and see where all these drivers sit. So, in the meantime, I'm going to have a little bit of an ad break here as I try and figure out how all these drivers are doing. 1 second here, fans. Alright, fans, it looks like we are ready to get back into the action here. All those points have been counted up, and it's looking like things are going to be interesting here as we get back into the action. So, your racing winner, of course, was Dalton Widner, and the order that the drivers will be coming out here in the skills competition will be based on how they placed in racing. So the drivers who had the worst racing passes will go first. The drivers with the fastest passes will go last, which means that Dalton Widner does have a good amount of time to try and fix up his truck before it is his time to go. He has the full competition to watch and learn, but also get that truck fixed up. So fans, now that all that's out of the way, it is finally time to move into some of those scored competitions. Now, if you are new here, we do fan scoring. All you have to do is enter a score. It will be combined with an expert score, and then that will be the official score. So, you fans do get to participate in the official scoring tonight. Now, let's get into two-wheel skills, or, as they like to call it, the Skills Challenge Competition. Fans, coming up next, please welcome Cory Rummell and Pirate's Curse. Cory Rummell, he had a rough night here in racing as he put down what was the slowest time, the only time to go above 23 seconds, I should say. As his time was almost 30 seconds. You never want to be that big of an outlier, but unfortunately, Cory Rummell just wasn't having the luck tonight in racing. Now he gets to be in a competition that I'd say he's a little bit better at, though, so we'll see if he can make it work for him. He gets 2 attempts on 2 wheels here. Not going to do any of that stupid one-hit format because this is all about competition, which means giving it every chance. So Cory Rummell and Pirate's Curse, he's getting started here. Almost went over right there, it looks like, but he's able to keep it along. Nice technical maneuver right now, so I'm liking what we're seeing. He's going to try and walk this back up that obstacle. It's not going to work out exactly how we wanted it to, but a nice attempt nonetheless. And he's got one more move to go here. Looks like he is going to be eyeing that racing pod. Let's see what he can do. Very nice right there. Ooh, started to lose it a little bit, but he's doing a good job of keeping it alive. Oh, there we go. Cory Rummell and Pirate's Curse. He started to lose it, so he saved it. Ends up getting a nose pick. Might have been an accident, honestly. But that is also going to do some pretty big damage to those rear sway bars, fans. Let's hear it for Cory Rummell and Pirate's Curse, kicking off the two-wheel skills competition. I'll tell you what, that was probably one of the coolest things that Cory Rummell has done in two-wheel skills. Not because he's bad at it, but because that was just an incredible move. So fans, if you want to score, I should have said that sooner. The scoring window is now closed, but if you want to score for these next runs, that option is available. So we have a 7.2 from the fans here. Experts are going to give that a 7.5. So the official score tonight for Cory Rummell and Pirate's Curse, a 7.35 as he sets the bar tonight. Again, that is a 7.35. Fans, make sure to get those scores in right away after the run's finish, because there is a stream delay, so I don't want to keep the stream waiting too long to get those scores in. There's a stream delay of about 10 to 15 seconds, so the sooner the better for those scores, so that we can get them counted as quickly as possible. Fans, coming up next here in two-wheel skills, please welcome Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Bryce Kenny, he is a natural in this competition. I think we could all agree on that. I think he struggles to innovate, but he does do a lot of consistent moves, so we'll see if he can bring that here tonight. A nice start to this move right here. Started to lose it pretty quick. Let's see if he can keep it. Oh, can he even save it? Ooh, that is turtled. There is no saving that, fans. Let's hear it for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Man, that was one of those moves where he really, it wasn't that he didn't try to save it, it was that he wasn't capable of even saving it at all because there was no traction. I mean, the tires just weren't even on the ground, and that's always the worst way to crash because it doesn't look super cool and it just wasn't good luck either. So, I mean, Bryce Kenny, rough night here. Fans give it a 2.9. Experts are going to give that a 2. So the score for Bryce Kenny is a 2.45. Again, that is a 2.45 for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. Fans, we're going to move into that next competitor. Coming to you with that Lucas Oil sponsored truck. Please welcome Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. This is not her star competition. I think that's something that we can all agree on, but you never know what she has up her sleeve, and she has been improving. So, I'm interested to see what we might see here for that Lucas Stabilizer machine. She's going to try and pop it up here. Going to do a nice job at that. And look at that balance. That's nice. Wow, that is perfect balance. Fans, are you seeing that? That is just the tires that balance like that. The body wasn't touching the ground or anything. Cynthia Gauthier, a great first hit for the Lucas Stabilizer. That is what I'm talking about. So a great way to start this two-wheel skills run. She has one more move to go. So again, she's one of those drivers where this really isn't her competition, but she can do some cool stuff when she puts her mind to it. Full speed ahead, and it is a massive sky wheelie for Cynthia Gauthier and the Lucas Stabilizer. She is going to try and combo it up as well. So fans, let's hear it. That was a great performance here in two-wheel skills. Honestly, I'd say that was one of Cynthia's best skills runs of her entire career. I really don't have any complaints. That was very, very well executed. Very well done. I'm very impressed. And I think the experts will be giving that run a great score. Fans are going to give that an 8.1. Experts are going to give it an 8.5. So the official score tonight is an 8.3 for Cynthia Gauthier. She is your new leader in the Skills Challenge as she is able to get it done. Fans, we still have plenty of action to go as we're going to move into the second female competitor. So from one to the other, coming up next is Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash. Jamie might not be the strongest competitor in every competition, but if there's anything she can do, it is a nice skills run. I think that is a very consistent thing here for this driver. So we'll see if we see some of that same skill come through here tonight. A nice start to this run. That is exactly what you want to see. Loses it a little bit, but nice recovery. Ooh, that truck just got pushed a little bit sideways, and she's going to have to set that down. So I don't know if she really wanted to set that down quite that early, but it was still some of the nicer balance that we have seen so far tonight. Not sure that anyone's going to be able to beat Cynthia's balance, though, as that was a very spectacular stoppie. Jamie Sullivan, she is going to have one more hit to go. Taking a lot of speed around the track as she is ready to go for this next move. Whoa! Fans, oh, she might, yes, she saves it. What a crazy move. I don't know what happened there. It seemed like a really typical moonwalk, but as if out of thin air, she had that crazy pirouette move, got onto one wheel and tried to save it, and that does have enough momentum to get that truck back on all fours, fans. Let's hear it one more time for Jamie Sullivan and the Sparkle Smash with one of the coolest moves of the night so far, maybe the coolest move of the night, as she brings her stadium show to another level. She has done very few of these, so it's great to see her looking like such a natural already. Experts are going to give that run an 8.75. Fans are going to give it an 8.48. The score tonight for Sparkle Smash, an 8.615. Again, that is an 8.615 for Jamie Sullivan. And the Sparkle Smash, she is your new leader in the Skills Challenge. Fans, we have 8 more competitors to go. Coming up next, one of those independent competitors. Please welcome Chuckie Pauken III and Uproar. Now, an interesting lineup tonight, as we have both Charlie Pauken III and Charlie Pauken Sr. in this lineup, so we'll have to see what they can do here. As Chuckie Pauken III is currently up here getting ready to go. He is on that racing pod looking to get this first hit going. And I'll tell you what, he might not have done very many shows so far, but if there's anything he is already great at right away, it's skills moves. He is a natural when it comes to finding out how to balance those monster trucks. And this Uproar machine, we are seeing a good amount of that balance right now. Looks like he's having trouble getting that truck to settle. It looks like it's bouncing around quite a lot in this move, but he is doing a very good job at keeping it entertaining. Tries to combo it. He does combo it. Very nicely done by Chuckie Pauken III. That is exactly what this competition is all about. And in your first Monster Jam event ever, that is a great way to make yourself known. Chuckie Pauken III in the Uproar. Getting it done right off the bat. He still has one more hit to go. That might have looked like 2 hits because he did it so seamlessly, but no. That was all just one big maneuver. He's got one more to go. So he can do all sorts of things on those front 2 tires. Let's see if he can do it again. Nice balancing act right here from Chuckie Pauken III. Again, one of the best in the business right now. I will stand by that. He might be young, but he is talented. And I mean, you know, being born into a monster truck family, he has had lots of time to experience what it's like driving off-road vehicles on all 4s. So maybe even on all 2s, you know, I've seen him do some cool technical moves that weren't even in a monster truck. So he's a natural, that is for sure. Oh! Oh, but can he save this? Are you kidding me? Fans, let's hear it for Charlie Pauken the third. Uproar. A moonwalk into reverse sidewall. That is something I don't even think Weston Anderson could pull off so smooth. That was crazy. I mean, I know it wasn't intentional, but that is still one of the coolest things I have ever seen a Monster Jam truck do. Bar none. That was insane. This is a great skills competition so far, and we're not even halfway in yet. So, what a run there by Chuckie Pauken the third. That score to beat belongs to Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash with an 8.615. Now, fans gave Chuckie Pauken an 8.599. Fans gave him that score. Experts gave him a 9.25. The score for Chuckie Pauken is an 8.925. Again, that is an 8.925 for Chuckie Pauken the third in the Uproar. He is your new leader here in the two-wheel skills competition. So very, very nicely done. He is in first place, but you never know. 7 drivers left to go, maybe 6, depending on how fast they can get Jurassic Attack fixed up. Either way, though, first place is a great spot to be right now for Chuckie Pauken. Coming up next, please welcome Joe Foley and Axe. Joe really fluctuates in this competition. Some weeks he does really crazy things and has better luck. Other weeks, luck just is not on his side. Which one of those will be his fate tonight? Well, we're going to have to wait and see as he is preparing to get his skills run underway. One second here, fans. Looks like Joe Foley and Axe having some issues. We're going to get that truck back in bounds. Looks like maybe some out of bounds issues for that machine. And we are ready to go here, fans. Joe Foley and Axe, he's ready to get back underway. Let's see what he can do here. And his first hit is started. Ooh, a double slap wheelie from Joe Foley. That is a move he has really made his own. Look at this. He just completely changed the direction of his slap wheelie by comboing it enough times. That is something that you don't see from really any other drivers. The only other driver that I've really ever seen do cool slap wheelie combos like that is Nick Pagliarulo, and he's not out here tonight. Great move starting things off for Joe Foley. He's got one more hit to go. He's going to go for a bicycle. Tries to get it into reverse, and he does. So Joe, Foley, and Axe, 2 solid hits. I don't know if they were quite as good as what we saw from Chuckie Pauken the third, but they were both pretty cool, solid moves, so gotta give him that. He was looking like a champ out there, and I mean, that's what he wants to be, I'm sure. But the road to the World Finals for 2026 all starts here. So fans, for Joe Foley and the Axe, experts are going to give that an 8. Fans are going to give it an 8.389. So the score for Axe, an 8.195. Again, that is an 8.195. That is only enough for 4th place tonight for Joe Foley and Axe. Just wasn't able to get quite enough done with those 2 hits. Fans, coming up next to the track, please welcome Tim Jones, Tailgator. Now, this is really not the competition that Tim Jones is known for, but you never know. Maybe he'll still give it something unique here. He's very good at wowing the crowd, and he's got 2 hits to try and do that right here. He's setting up for the first hit. Oh, a different approach than I was expecting. A huge sky wheelie for the Tailgator. Going to be able to slap it down a little bit as well. So Tim Jones, a nice start to the performance. But how can he follow that up in a way that is still impressive? He's going to have to do something very interesting here if he wants to try and take the lead away. Oh, Tim Jones! Oh my goodness! I don't know if that was intentional, but he just did a backflip off the side of a dirt obstacle in the skills challenge, fans. Let's hear it for Tim Jones and the Tailgator. 2 solid hits, a great second hit that I'm sure has all the fans out here on their feet. I know I didn't see that coming. That was something that not very many drivers do here on the Monster Jam circuit. So a great skills run there by Tim Jones. Unfortunately, there wasn't all that much skill put into that run. So experts are going to give that a bit of a lower score at a 7. So we await to see a fan score. Alright, fans, it looks like that official score for Tim Jones and Tailgator tonight is a 7. He is not going to be able to grab that top spot. That will put him in 6th place right now in the skills competition. Fans, we only have 5 more drivers left to go. This is where things are going to get interesting. Some of these drivers are great at skills, and some of them really aren't. So, the competition is about to get very, very tight as all these drivers look to get some points on the board. Coming up next, Camden Murphy, El Toro Loco. Now, I will say, these last 5 drivers remaining are the ones that really have that overall win in their sights. So I'm hoping that they're all going to drive like they want that overall win, because they're the ones that are the most likely to still be able to get that done. Camden Murphy in the El Toro Loco, he is one of those drivers as he looks to get it done tonight. Let's see what he can do here as he gets ready to go. Keep in mind, each driver will have 2 attempts. Camden Murphy, there we go. Very nice. Good balance, and he is keeping it going here. So I'm loving what I'm seeing by the El Toro Loco machine. Camden Murphy, although it's not his normal ride, he's making it known that he is a natural behind the wheel of a Monster Jam truck. Oh, he might walk this up the obstacle, fans. A great move right there by Camden Murphy. That was probably a good 20 seconds, if not more, just on those front 2 BKT tires. Camden Murphy, he is looking great out here. He still has 1 more hit to go. Blowing that bowl smoke, something he's not usually able to do. And he has 1 more hit to go. Tell you what, this is a nice start to the maneuver. He's looking very good out here. Just walking that back and forth. I mean, that is what good truck control looks like. Started to lose it a little bit, but he's going to be able to recover that. And I mean, he is just walking this up every obstacle that gets in his way. Very few drivers are able to control their vehicles like that. Camden Murphy, you can tell he knows what he's doing. And he is going to set it down. Looks like he might have been trying to get a combination off. Not able to do it. Regardless, that was probably the longest skills move of the month, at least. I was going to say of the year. I don't know. Jon Zimmer Sr. had some pretty long ones, but that was definitely one of the best. by Camden Murphy and El Toro Loco. You can tell he's coming out here looking to win. And if you want to win, that is exactly what you're going to have to do. So fans, that score to beat tonight still belongs to Chuckie Pauken the third in Uproar. He put down an 8.925. Fans are going to give Camden Murphy an 8.39. Experts are going to give it an 8.75. The score for El Toro Loco, an 8.57. That is going to be enough for third place tonight for Camden Murphy, the El Toro Loco. So interesting there is he is going to place behind Jamie Sullivan despite having longer moves. And I think that the main takeaway from that is that as we progress through this competition, fans want to see something new. And a couple just normal moonwalks were not enough to get it done. We need some combinations or some unique stuff. And that's something that these last 4 drivers hopefully are able to keep in mind. Although in saying that, I also have to say these last 4 drivers aren't exactly innovators when it comes to 2-wheel moves. So they're going to have their work cut out for them. Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger is up next. Here we go. He's getting started here. Ooh, loses that move pretty quick. He's trying to recover it. But unfortunately, he's just not going to be able to do that. A great effort by Charlie Pauken and the Gravedigger. One more hit to go. You know, I'm hoping to see some veteran skill coming through, but that was not the Charlie Pauken that I'm used to seeing. He's going to try and get this on some sidewalls. Oh! I thought he had it back, but that truck just kept on spinning until it was over and on the lid. Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger fans, let's hear it. A good effort, but not quite what he was going for. Not quite successful, and not quite the most pleasant landing, I'm going to have to assume, on that last hit. Fans give Charlie Pauken an 8.3. Whoa, I don't know what just happened there. Fans give him an 8.3. Experts are going to give him a 6.5. So that score tonight, a 7.4 for Charlie Pauken and the Gravedigger. Not going to be enough. Fans, only 3 competitors remain, and these are all independent drivers, so something interesting here is that the points do seem to be leaning in the favor of those independents, but they still have some work to put in, and quite frankly, these last drivers left are not skills competitors, so I'm very interested to see how the points will look after this competition ends. Up on the track right now, this is Jon Zimmer Sr. driving the Megalodon. So Jon Zimmer Sr. here on a truck that is a little different than what he's used to, but you never know what he can do. Nice right there. Cool. A clean slap wheelie by Jon Zimmer Sr. in the Megalodon. And he's going to try to combo it. Very nice. So showing some of that veteran truck awareness right there as he is able to even add on to that move. So I love to see when drivers can do stuff like that. Jon Zimmer Sr. and the Megalodon trying to make things work out for him here tonight. He's got one more move to go. I will say, Jon Zimmer Sr. a very overlooked driver in this competition. He is great at balancing that truck and doing things more cleanly than other drivers, I would say. He's very steady in his movements, and we're seeing a lot of that right here just in this first little bit of the run. Just slow and steady is winning the race right now. Absolutely well done. Oh, he even gives a little bit of reverse action. Now he's gonna try a moonwalk. Just let's see if he can do it. Very nicely done, fans. Let's hear it for Jon Zimmer Sr. Megalodon. 2 great hits, 2 of the smoothest moves of the night. Even had a little bit of a combination in each of them. So Jon Zimmer Sr. showing why he is one of the best drivers in the sport with over a decade of driving, basically almost 2 decades by now. He's able to get it done. So fans, let's see. Experts are going to give that an 8.5. Fans give it an 8.4. That is an 8.45 tonight for Jon Zimmer Sr. and Megalodon. That's not going to be enough for that top spot. That does still put him in a fairly nice position, though. That is 4th place for Jon Zimmer Sr. So no matter what happens, he's going to be placing in the top 50% in this competition. A great place to be. Fans, only 2 competitors remain. Coming up next, Mike Christensen, Vendetta. This is one I'm really interested to see. If there's anyone out here who's not a skills driver, I think this guy is the driver. He's definitely improved over the time, but he's still not really in the position where I'd see him taking home any wins here, so we'll see what he can do. Very nicely done. A very, very clean slap wheelie by the Vendetta. Oh, and he's also going to try and combo it, and he is successful in his combination maneuver. So Mike Christensen, oh, he's going to combo it again. Very nice. He said, well, if Jon Zimmer Sr. is a veteran and he can combo, then I'm going to combo too. Very nicely done. I'm not sure that some of that combination that we saw there was actually intentional, but it all looked very cool. One more move to go. Mike Christensen here, he is setting up for that second hit. Big wheelie right there. Oh, looks like he tried to get a slap wheelie out of it. Couldn't quite do it. 2 nice wheelies tonight for Mike Christensen. Although he couldn't get the slap on that second one, it was still a very nice sky wheelie. So let's give credit where it's due. Mike Christensen did give 2 of the best wheelies of the night, and a nice combination on that first one as well. Is it going to be enough, though? Chuckie Pauken's score was up in 8.9 territory. I'm not sure if that was quite an 8.9 right there by Mike Christensen. Gonna have to wait and see what those scores say. Keep in mind that score to beat. 8.925. Not seeing any fan scores here, so that score tonight for Vendetta is going to be a 7.25. Mike Christensen not going to be enough. Fans, we are officially down to the last competitor here in skills. He is with Team Throttle Monster, so some independent representation here. He won timed racing. Now he has the opportunity to win skills and potentially win the overall. Please welcome Dalton Widner and Jurassic Attack. And I'll tell you what, Dalton has his work cut out for him, but I have a feeling he is going to be driving this truck like he wants to win, because I'm sure he does want to win, and he has that overall win in his sights tonight. Very nice first hit, and he's going to be able to walk that up, that ramp. So not many drivers that show this much balance in the sport. Dalton Widner showing why he is one of the best and why he is nicknamed the People's Champion. He's great at doing the moves that the people love, like a beautiful technical maneuver like this one. Let's see if he can keep this alive here. Kind of running out of room to play with. Very nice. So Dalton Widner here Making sure to keep that truck exactly where he wants it. Finding that balancing point as he looks to take home a win tonight. It's either going to be him or Chuckie Pauken the third. Those would both be a pretty big deal here. Either way, this has been one of the best moves of the night, just in terms of consistency. Nothing is stopping Dalton Widner. I wouldn't be surprised if he walks this for the length of a freestyle run at the rate he's going right now. Man, he is just playing with fire right now in the Jurassic attack. Something about being back in that truck has completely reverted his driving style to the craziness that we saw back in 2024. I'm loving this consistency by Dalton Widner. I mean, look at this. He is just keeping this move alive. Fans, that was all one move by Dalton Widner. He still has another attempt left to go. That was... Okay, I know earlier I said we almost had the longest move of the year. That was definitely the longest move of the year. I don't have a doubt about it. Dalton Widner getting it done. Going in for his second attempt here. Very nice balance. Loving the energy right now. Oh, he's going to be able to salvage the move. Okay, I got really worried there that he wasn't going to be able to get done as much as he wanted to, but he was able to save it. Now he's able to combo it. Tries to combo it again. Couldn't quite get it done with that second combination attempt, but what a run by Dalton Widner and Jurassic Attack. Two great hits. And that is exactly what you want to do. If you want to try to win 2 competitions in a row, that's the energy we need to see. Alright, fans, is it enough? Experts give Dalton Widner a 9.3. Fans give him an 8.534. The score for Jurassic Attack is an 8.917. So close to enough for that top spot. But Dalton Widner is going to get second. So, although he's not won every competition of the day so far, he has a ton of points in the overall chase, and as long as he can get a good freestyle on the board, we might be seeing a Dalton Widner overall. Well, fans, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a minute here to count up these scores and get ready for freestyle. We'll be back shortly. Alright fans, we are back. Those scores have been counted up. Right now, those drivers to watch in the overall points chase are Chuckie, Pauken the third, and Megalodon, who currently has 17 points. So great there for him. As well as that, Camden, Murphy, and El Toro Loco also has 17 points. From there, Jon Zimmer Sr. and Megalodon has 8 points. 18 points. And Dalton, Widner, and Jurassic Attack has 23 points. So right now, the overall is in the hands of some very interesting drivers. Lots of independent representation up there. But also, you know, you have Camden, Murphy, and El Toro Loco, who is, like I said at the start of this, always had good luck in Glendale. So we'll see how freestyle goes. I say it's about time to get it underway, fans. So coming up first, welcome to the track, Bryce Kenny, Monster Mutt. Bryce is a great freestyler, so you'd wonder why he's coming out here so soon, but, well, the answer to that is he got second to last place in racing, and he got last place in skills, so Bryce Kenny has a lot to prove tonight in the Monster Mutt. Fortunately, it looks like everything with that truck survived skills, even the body, so good to see there for Bryce Kenny. He's got 2 minutes. You can see that clock in the bottom right, and he is underway with some huge air. So Bryce Kenny not wasting a second. You can tell he is driving under pressure right now to try and make up for his performance that we have seen elsewhere tonight. And, I mean, that's also just going to cause him to drive a little bit angrier, and that's always something that's good in freestyle. Angry driving makes for the most entertaining runs, something that has been true ever since the Dennis Anderson days. So Bryce Kenny in more great air. We have had no shortage of that in the last 30 seconds. He has gone pretty big on every single hit this run. And he is just getting started still. He's got 80 seconds left to go. Look at that hang time. Incredible move right there by Bryce Kenny. He is keeping this up. Let's see what else he can do. He's got about half the time remaining. Massive hang time. He is just staying alive in the air. That is exactly what you want to see. Bryce Kenny driving with a fire right now. Oh man, full sends it right there. This is an incredible run. High momentum, high energy. I mean, Bryce Kenny, he is giving it his all right now. You can really tell. Look at that air. Transfers it down the backside of those racing bumps. Bryce Kenny, he is driving with a fire right now. 20 seconds on the clock. He might be eyeing that backflip ramp. Nails the landing. Looks a little bit rough for a second, but he's actually going to be okay here. Bryce Kenny, he's going in for some cross-threading action. That's what you like to see. Oh, he's going to hit that landing really hard, but he's going to save it. As he just about reaches the end of the clock. Time is expired for Bryce Kenny as he's trying to give this one more move. Throw it into some donuts here. Whoa! Fans, let's hear it. Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt making a great use of the full 2 minutes tonight. That is what a good freestyle run looks like, fans. I have no complaints there. I mean, that run had everything. There's a reason that Bryce Kenny is a fan favorite. It's because of freestyle runs like that. That is exactly what you want to see. That scoring window is now closed. Now, fans, keep in mind there's a stream delay, so scores might be opened after I say that they're closed, but it doesn't look like I said that yet just because there's that delay that makes it sound like I said it after the fact. So those scores, that's the main reason they have to come in super duper fast. So with that being said, at this point in time, there is no fan score. So that score tonight for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt is going to be a 9.015. A huge score here kicking off freestyle. You know what, though? Unsurprisingly so, that was an incredible freestyle run. Alright, fans, we got 11 more drivers to go. Now, this next one's a little bit new to Monster Jam. Actually, completely new to Monster Jam. Now, he would be going up later in freestyle since he's doing so well in overall. But since this is one of his first shows, he's going to be coming out here a little bit earlier than you'd expect to see him. This is Chuckie Pauken in Uproar. Specifically, Chuckie Pauken III, a son of the great Charlie Pauken, who we will be seeing in this competition later tonight. So, fans, this is a competitor that you really love to see coming out here. Because, I mean, this is his first freestyle run in Monster Jam ever. He's got something to prove right now. Ooh. Alright, so right off the bat, it's looking like he's not afraid to get a little bit risky out here. I mean, you like to see that. Very nice wheelie for the Uproar machine. So, Chuckie Pauken III coming out here. And he's getting it done. He's filled the first 30 seconds with some good air. Oh, man! That is good air right there. I'll say the momentum is a little bit rough at some points, but with it being his first show, I can't critique too much here. It's understandable for a driver to be maybe a little bit rough around the edges in their first run, but he's just going big. And I think that's my favorite part of this run. Even though it's his first one in Monster Jam, he's not afraid to not hold back with a nice save right there. So great action right now from Chuckie Pauken III. Oh, this might go over. Wow, what a wow moment. Clock is paused at 46 seconds. What a move for Chuckie Pauken III and the Uproar. Looks like that truck is still in okay shape. He is going to be able to continue on here tonight, fans, if that truck can refire. Fans, he is back up and running. Chuckie Pauken III in Uproar. More huge air. This is exactly what you want to see. Even if it's just that debut run, you still want to go big. And he is doing just that right now. More huge air. This might be a rough one. Wow, the truck holds up. Oh, fans, he might be eyeing it. He might go for the backflip. Huge air on the backflip. Save it. Nice. What a move by Chuckie Pauken III and the Uproar. He lands the backflip. That truck looks like it is looking a little funky there. The clock is now expired, though, so either way, that is going to do it for Chuckie Pauken III and Uproar. Fans, what a freestyle. When it's your debut run, there's a lot of pressure, you know, when you're going out there and you don't know if you should go big or maybe you hold back for a little bit. But, I mean, that was great. He went big all throughout and ending it off with that great backflip and that nice cartwheel move in the middle. All great signs of a great freestyle run. That score to beat belongs to Monster Mutt, a 9.015. The score tonight for Uproar is it's an 8.931. An 8.931. That's only going to be enough for second place. And honestly, that is a huge score considering the average momentum in that run. But I think that does go to show how big of a deal getting a good wow factor is in current day Monster Jam. The wow factor is one of the most important parts of that run, and he had two great wow factors to bring that score up. Fans, let's keep the action going. Coming up next, Jon Zimmer Sr, Megalodon. Again, he's coming out maybe a little bit earlier than you'd expect to see him, but these drivers who don't do as many stadium shows are being sent out earlier into the competition just to make sure that it ends off big and exciting. So, Jon Zimmer Sr. in Megalodon, he's getting started with some big air. So he's off to a great start tonight. Nice wheelie as well. So I'm right off the bat loving every part of this freestyle run. I think I'd like to see a little bit more momentum as it progresses, but so far, no complaints. Wow, that was great air. There is some of that momentum I was looking for. And I mean, that's the thing with Jon Zimmer Sr. is he might not always be the craziest driver, but he will always be a crazy driver. More great air. So both of those Send It trucks here coming out back to back. So a little bit more of that competition feel when they're right up against each other. So let's see what else Jon Zimmer Sr. and Megalodon can do. That was a full send. Great air for the Megalodon. He is keeping this alive. Jon Zimmer Sr., I'm loving this run. More huge air. So this is one of my favorite things here in Glendale is even those drivers who typically won't go super big will go big when that massive floor space is in front of them. So I'm loving this action here by the Megalodon. He's going to go in for the backflip. He saves it and lands it back on all four BKT tires. Very nicely done by Jon Zimmer Sr., crushing the cars as well. That is exactly what you want to see as he's bringing this run to a close. He can go in for some more big air, crushing the other cars now. And a huge wheelie for the Megalodon as time expires for Jon Zimmer Sr. Ending it off with some cyclones in the spin cycle. That was an incredible freestyle run. 2 minutes of great action by Jon Zimmer Sr. I think the momentum and air was not quite as good as Bryce Kenny's run, but overall, it was still a very exciting run by pretty much, I mean, any perspective there. I think anyone would agree that was a very cool run. Loved every part of it. But is it going to be enough to beat a score in the 9s? Is it enough to be a score in the 9s, period? Those are the questions here as we take a look at that score for Jon Zimmer Sr. and Megalodon. Score to beat does belong to Bryce Kenny with a 9.015. And the score for Megalodon is... it's an 8.521. Again, that is an 8.521. That's going to be enough for third place right now in freestyle. Fans, we still have 9 more drivers to go in this competition. And coming up next, it's Jamie Sullivan, Sparkle Smash. Now, Jamie Sullivan coming out here, I mean, this was where stadium competition really started for her. And now she's looking to do a full stadium series next year. That's a bit of a full circle moment as she goes huge to kick off this run. So right off the bat, I'm loving what we're seeing. There we go. Nice wheelie down the downside right there. So we're seeing a lot of great action right off the bat. For Jamie Sullivan, some more huge air. Oh my gosh. What a save. I thought that was over. I was ready to say let's hear it, but no, that truck's going to be able to just right itself. Look at that technical combination. So you can tell Jamie Sullivan Sparkle Smash already familiarizing herself with these bigger floors. And that is what you like to see. Since she's going to have a lot more on these bigger floors coming up next year. Great moves so far, but I don't think they're quite as big as what the last 3 competitors have given us. Still some nice maneuvers, though. I'll give her that. 1 second here, fans. We're going to pause that clock. 39 seconds left to go here. We're going to have to get that truck back on course. Unfortunately, that is just something that happens here. If the trucks go off course, they got to be realigned there. It looks like Jamie Sullivan is Sparkle Smash. She is back and ready to go. The clock resumes now. She's got about 30 seconds left. She might be eyeing the backflip now. Ooh. Under rotates it, trying to save it. But that was just too far gone. That truck is all the way on the lid. And Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash, her dreams literally come crashing down tonight as that truck ends up on the lid. That is the first run to not fill time as well. So, just adding a little bit of salt in the wound there, I guess, for Jamie Sullivan's run. That just did not go how she wanted it to, I'm sure. Lots of rough luck and I guess just unideal situations happening there. Score to beat still belongs to Bryce, Kenny, and Mostermutt with a 9.015. The score tonight for Sparkle Smash is... it's a 7.982. That's going to be enough for 4th place currently in the freestyle competition. So we're seeing a lot of those runs with the higher scores be the runs with the best momentum. Particularly, Bryce Kenny had the best momentum of the night, and he has had the best score of the night. So I think the drivers coming up need to focus on that momentum aspect if they want to get the good scores tonight. Fans, coming up next to the track, please welcome Mike Christensen, Vendetta. Now, Mike, he is one of the more up-and-coming drivers in this competition. He's not a bad freestyler at all, and honestly, 3 years ago, I would have been saying something completely different. He has evolved a lot over the last couple of years, and I'm very excited to see that come into play here with this freestyle run. So Mike Christensen and Vendetta, he is staged and ready to go here. Let's see what he can do. He's going to start it off with maybe a little bit of a wheelie attempt, but it's not going to work out for him. Whoa! Another very hard landing, but it looks like the truck survived okay, so we're seeing a lot of drivers kind of undershoot those gaps, and I think we're going to have to see a little bit more effort to clear those, or we might start seeing some big breakages happen earlier on in these freestyle runs. Mike Christensen, I'll tell you what, he's doing a good job kicking this run off with good air. Oh, he's already shedding the body too. And I think we're seeing some good technical moves. So those are two things that I think are going to be key players in tonight's freestyle competition. Oh my gosh! He's trying to save this. No way! Mike Christensen, Vendetta, that is save of the night. It's not even close. Hands down the best move we have seen so far. I don't know if he was expecting to save that. He's got 72 seconds left to go. He's refired, so he's going to be able to make an effort here. Now, this is what he's seeing inside of that truck because of that hood being propped up from that crash. So he's got some added challenges now as he looks to get this run back up and running. Those 72 seconds resume. So Mike Christensen pulling off one of the best moves of the night and honestly of the year. Now he's got half the clock left to keep this up. Great slap wheelie right there. This is a killer freestyle run by really every standard. I'm loving what we're seeing. 44 seconds left. Oh, that's gonna do it, fans. A hard landing on the backflip attempt as Mike Christensen and Vendetta is not gonna be able to do it tonight. That truck's gonna get a weird twist and just land hard on the lid. A hard side slap as well. So, I mean, that's exactly what you never ever want to see happen to end out a freestyle run, because, I mean, you know that hurt, so. Tough break right there. Great freestyle run, but not the ending you want. Well, fans, that score to beat still belonging to Bryce Kenny and the Monster Mutt, as he was able to put down a 9.015. The score for Vendetta is... It's an 8.942. That is an 8.942. Enough for second place for Mike Christensen. Not quite enough for that top spot. Bryce Kenny still remains your leader here in freestyle. Fans, we have 7 drivers left to go in this competition. The action's only going to get more and more exciting as we go along. And 1 second here, fans. Looks like we accidentally pulled up that screen from Skills, that Skills Challenge recap for Dalton Widner, but it's his freestyle, not his skills. So I have a feeling that truck's going to be looking a little bit less pretty than it did right there, since he did rough it up a little bit when it came to the 2-wheel maneuvers we just saw. Accidentally pulling up that recap. But we're ready to go here. Dalton Widner, he's ready to hit the track. There's still pieces of his truck all over the place from his skills run. But I have a feeling we're going to be seeing even more pieces out and about after this freestyle. Dalton Widner, he's looking for that overall win, and he is going big right off the bat to get things started. 1 second here, fans. Clock is paused. Alright, he is refired. It looks like maybe he hit the kill switch on that really, really big wheelie, but everything looks okay with that truck. He is refired, back up and running, and he is back with some more big air. And I'm sure after having that unwarranted break in the middle of his run, he's going to be a little bit more angry in his driving style here. So I'm excited to see what Dalton Widner pushes his truck to do here as he looks to grab that overall win. Dalton's a great freestyler, but I think sometimes he struggles to find that wow moment. So I'm interested to see what he can do here. This might be a wow moment. Up and over, and the truck holds up. Very well done by Dalton Widner. I don't think that was intentional, but it was good truck control to know not to get ahead of himself and just let that truck settle back down. And now he has 60 more seconds to just go for it, as he pulls off a great wow factor of his own. So Team Throttle Monster is not playing around here in freestyle. Dalton Widner, he's got about 45 seconds left. Great air right there as he hits that step up. Just over 30 seconds left on the clock. He's going to go in for the backflip. Nails it, even throws it into reverse. That is exactly what you love to see. Dalton Widner. Oh my gosh! Huge air right there. That was amazing work. Dalton Widner and Jurassic Attack. More huge air. Oh! Fans, let's hear it for Dalton Widner. Goes in for that final full send, and that truck just hit super hard. Ripped out the entire front end. Some crazy crash madness right there for the Jurassic Attack. Dalton Widner, what a way to end out the run. You knew he was going to be going all out here with his hopes to get the overall win. But that was another level of dedication to literally rip the truck in half. Fans, that score to beat belonging to Bryce Kenny was a 9.015. The score for Dalton Widner Jurassic Attack is... It is a 9.429. He easily is going to be able to grab that top spot. It's not even close, and I don't think there's a single person complaining, because that was one of the coolest things I have ever seen. I don't know. It was one of the coolest runs, I think, from Dalton specifically. Maybe Dalton's best run ever. That might be a bold take, but there was so much to enjoy in that freestyle run. Fans, we are halfway into freestyle. Half the field still left to go, and burn it down. Coming up next to the track, please welcome Tim Jones, Tailgator. 1 second here, fans. Looks like we're going to have to try and get that truck fired up once again. Having some trouble. Going to have to send out the pit team. Alright, we are ready to go here, fans. Tim Jones and Tailgator figuring out some things on his truck, but he is now back up and running. Tim Jones, this is one of the best freestylers in the sport when it comes to putting on a show, and he's getting started here. So right off the bat, we're already seeing a lot of that crazy action by Tim Jones as he is effectively off to one of the craziest beginnings to a freestyle of the night. Oh! That is crazy right there. What a save and nice combination by Tim Jones. That is what you want to see. Huge air nosedives it a little bit, but keeps it alive. Tim Jones, I'm loving the action right now. He's not even half time in, and he is already sending this truck in maybe the biggest jumps we have seen all night long. Massive wheelie right there as well. This is a killer freestyle from Tim Jones and Tailgator. Oh man, hard side slap. Looks like that steering might have engaged at a time that he did not want it to. Regardless though, it's going to look very cool. Oh man, full send central. It might be backflip time. Nice backflip, but unfortunately, he's going to over-rotate, break a 4-link bar on the landing, and that is going to do it for Tim Jones and the Tailgator. So, I gotta say, that was one of the most fun runs until it just wasn't. And I think that's something very common here in Monster Jam is you'll have one of the best runs of the night going very well, getting very entertaining, but it only takes one wrong move for that whole night to come to an end. And unfortunately, it was being on the gas for just half a second too long in that backflip that was able to do it for Tim Jones and Tailgator, as he breaks that truck clean. Well, fans, score to beat belongs to Dalton Widner, a 9.429. The score for Tailgator is... it's a 7.203, enough for 7th place tonight. Fans, we only have 5 competitors left, and these drivers are all going to be giving it their all here in Glendale. Coming up, Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer. Looking to make up for the mistakes from Jamie Sullivan earlier in freestyle, and a great way to kick off the run with some big air and a transfer. So Cynthia Gauthier not holding back right now. Ooh, hard landing right there, but nice truck control to keep it alive. Oh, this might do it though. Whoa, what a save. So right when I thought it was already done for Cynthia Gauthier, she is going to pull off one of the craziest saves of the night. So this is a great start to the run. Oh no! Can she save it? She is just keeping this sidewall save going. That was great control by Cynthia Gauthier. If I was Dalton Widner right now, I'd be terrified because this run by Cynthia has already had maybe 4 of the best saves of the night in it. I don't know, but there has been a lot. Look at that transfer. This is incredible stuff. Oh, and bit of an early backflip. She's only got 50 seconds left, but she nails it anyway, so what difference does it make? What a run that we are having right now. 40 seconds left to try to get as crazy as possible. Oh, she's going full speed here. Oh my gosh. Oh! And the truck lands. Fans, let's hear it for Lucas Stabilizer Cynthia Gauthier. That was incredible. That last landing came in a little bit short, and that front end just got destroyed. That truck came into a pirouette, saved it off of that little almost cartwheel barrel roll. I don't even know. I can't remember. I just remember it was a crazy rollover as that run comes to an end for the Lucas Stabilizer. That was incredible work right there. But is that going to be enough? The score to beat belonging to Dalton, Widner, and Jurassic Attack with a 9.429. The score for Lucas Stabilizer is... It's a 9.345. So close to enough to that top spot. I'm a little surprised it didn't take the lead, but I do think leaving 30 seconds unfilled brought that score down more than anything. And I mean, yeah, it's important to have a complete run, which doesn't just mean having all the factors. That also means filling the time, which she was unable to do. So maybe a low score, but understandable to see Dalton Widner, who had a full run, still in the lead. Fans, we only have 4 competitors left to go here in freestyle. This is where you're going to have to really keep your eye out because these drivers are all going to be driving at another level. Coming up next to the track, please welcome Cory Rummell, Pirate's Curse. This is his first Monster Jam Stadium freestyle in over a year, and he is now doing it with the Feld fleet. So Cory Rummell, this is going to be something a little bit different here. Now, what I will say is that Cory is very much an extreme air kind of driver, so we'll see what he can do here. Big air right there. I mean, the main reason I brought up the fact that he was an extreme air driver was because I could see that crazy move he was lining up for, and he's just going to start cross-threading just out of nowhere. That's how you can tell he's confident in his driving, and the confident drivers oftentimes do the coolest moves because they know they can, or they get overconfident and then accidentally end up in one of the coolest crashes you'll ever see. So Cory Rummell, right off the bat, a great start to the run. Wow! That might have been the biggest end of the night. I know Cynthia's last move was pretty big, but that was incredible. What a run so far for Cory Rummell, showing why he is an Extreme Air of the Year award winner and nicknamed Mr. Extreme Air himself. And he is keeping this all alive right now. This is incredible stuff for the Pirates' Curse machine. Wow! Sending it once again. Truck holds up okay. You might be eyeing that backflip ramp. He's going to land it, and that truck is done, fans. Let's hear it. Cory Rummell, Pirate's Curse. While a rough way to end the run, maybe the truck wasn't okay after that last landing, because it looks like there's a front 4-link bar broken, and I don't think the backflip that landed on the rear would break a front 4-link, so Cory Rummell breaks 2 4-link bars back to back. Regardless, that was a great freestyle run. Even if it was short-lived, it had great action, great momentum, and the biggest air of the night. Score to beat still belongs to Dalton Widner with a 9.429. The score for Pirates Curse tonight is... It's an 8.853. Not enough for that top spot. Fans, this has been a super fun show, but there are only 3 freestylers remaining. It's crazy how quick this show has gone by. But, I mean, the competition has been unlike most other shows that we have seen this year, so it's not surprising for this to be a much more fun show than some others because, well, time does fly when you're having fun, and we have had lots of fun here watching all these different drivers throw it down. Fans, coming up next, your third to last driver of the night, Camden Murphy, El Toro Loco. Not a usual driver truck pairing, but it's what we got here tonight. as Classroom Crusher not going to be able to make it out. Still not exactly sure what the issues were with that truck. One second here, fans. We're going to have to readjust that El Toro Loco machine. This has happened so many times here tonight, but those drivers just get a little bit out of bounds, and it seems like it trips the power of them, so Camden Murphy, he's back on the track. He's ready to go. Huge air kicks things off. He is not wasting any time. I mean, he's probably frustrated that he came out here with so much energy, and then immediately that truck stopped running, so I have a feeling that's going to be pushing him to drive even harder here tonight. Oh my gosh! Okay, well, so much for Cory Rummell being Mr. Extreme Air. Camden Murphy is now taking over the reins for biggest air of the night. Every hit in this freestyle run so far has just been off the charts. This is amazing. Look at this. Downsides it as well. This is a killer freestyle run so far for Camden Murphy, and he's only 45 seconds in. He is showing no signs of stopping, so I am absolutely loving the energy right now for the El Toro Loco. Oh, here we go. He's going to save this. Yes, he is. Very nicely done by Camden Murphy. Camden does have quite a few years behind the wheel, a solid decade to his name, so not surprising when he drives super good like this. Oh, he might be eyeing that backflip ramp. Gonna get a moonwalk out of it as well. Ooh, whoa! What? That, I don't even know what to call that. It was kind of like a sidewall, but it wasn't really. Oh my gosh! Fans, let's hear it for Camden Murphy, El Toro Loco. Man, this track has been an absolute truck killer tonight. Camden Murphy comes in hard on that landing, and that front axle just exploded. Beyond that, though, what was that move? I mean, he just flew through the air in a twist and landed on that lid extremely hard. I'm sure it didn't feel good, but it looked awesome. Camden Murphy, El Toro Loco, one of the last runs of the night as he was looking to take the win away from Dalton Widner. Score to beat, 9.429. The score for El Toro Loco is... It's a 9.390. That's going to be good enough for second place. So close to enough there for Camden Murphy, but not quite going to be it. He did leave about 10 seconds unfilled, so not surprising to see him not quite taking over that top spot. He did have some good energy, though. I loved every part of that run. Fans, we are down to your second to last competitor, but this driver is so good in this competition that he is nicknamed after it. So this is one you got to look out for. My apologies, fans. Not sure what that was for. Your second to last driver tonight. Freestyle Foley, Joe Foley, and the axe. 2 minutes to burn it down. And I'm sure Joe Foley is looking to use all 2 of them. But then again, I don't think the average Joe Foley freestyle keeps the truck in one piece long enough to fill both 2 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Look at the air right off the bat. There is a reason that Joe Foley is named after this competition. Oh! Okay, that might have been it right there. You want to find the biggest end of the night? Well, that is what you gotta see. Joe Foley and axe. He easily just did the biggest leap of the night, and he's just barely 45 seconds in. I mean, this run is bound to be up there if he can keep this alive for long enough. Now, what else can he do? He's got like a minute left, but I just think he has to find something more interesting. He's got to find wow factors in particular, and he's definitely trying to. Oh, it might be backflip time for the axe. Whoa! The backflip's not going to work out, but he's still going to get a cool twist out of it. So Joe Foley, this is getting very interesting for him. It looks like he's really trying to find that wow moment. There it is. Joe Foley and axe. He's just throwing this truck into everything, I guess trying to get something crazy to happen out of it. And I guess also probably just for fun. This is great. He's got about 10 seconds now. What can he do with it? Oh, this might be something to watch. Oh my gosh. Fans, let's hear it for Joe Foley and axe. Full sends it at the end of the clock. Biggest error in, maybe in Glendale history, definitely the biggest error of the night. Ends up landing funky and getting a crazy rollover. Joe Foley showing why this is his competition. Score to beat Dalton Widner with a 9.429. The score for Joe Foley and axe is... It's a 9.457. Your new leader in freestyle, Joe Foley and axe. And now, fans, that is big news for Joe because he is the second to last driver out here. So there's only one driver left standing in his way of a freestyle win. Joe Foley just went crazy, and I'm sure it was worth it for him because he is extremely close to walking away with a win tonight. But the only driver left is a veteran with 30 years of experience behind the wheel of a monster truck. Joe Foley might have done good, but did he do good enough? We're going to find out, because coming up last is Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger. Charlie Pauken, I mean, you're talking about a guy who has been running for longer than any other guy in this lineup. One of the longest competing drivers in all of current day monster trucks. Charlie Pauken, he's getting started tonight. Already on the ragged edge. Are we really surprised though? Charlie Pauken, he is one of the greats for a reason. Oh my gosh. He gets that back. I thought for sure that was going to be it, because that truck just kept on going, but he hit the throttle at just the right time to be able to save it. This is great. What a run right off the bat from Charlie Pauken. I'm sure Joe Foley's not so happy anymore. Charlie Pauken, it is wow moment after wow moment right now tonight. And he's still got over half the clock left to go. This is incredible. Oh, that might be bigger than what Joe Foley put down. Oh! Oh my goodness! Fans, let's hear it for Charlie Pauken. Gravedigger. Unreal. One of the craziest crashes of the night. That truck goes up and over and explodes on impact. Like, actually explodes. What a crazy way to end out the event. Fans, with that being said, your freestyle winner tonight is Joe Foley and axe. I did forget to say the score for Gravedigger, though. The score tonight for Charlie Pauken, that's going to be an 8.375, just because he wasn't able to fill as much time as he would have needed to. Your freestyle winner, Joe Foley and axe. But your overall event champion tonight, who was able to grab a total of 34 points is Dalton Widner and Jurassic Attack. So huge congratulations to Team Throttle Monster and Dalton Widner for being able to get it done and bring home that great overall win. Fans, thank you for coming out to this show. This was a crazy one, a super fun event today with all sorts of wow factors inside of it. I mean, this was a fun show. There might be an international event next week. Otherwise, from here, it's the Christmas Crush. So, big things coming up. You're not going to want to miss what's coming up in the next couple weeks. So, do be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a minute of the action here on the channel. And I'll see you all next time with some more Monster Jam content.